My first time cruising solo. Do you have any tips for solo cruisers? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tips I can share. Number one, I think we have a video about this, broken on our channel. But really, my advice is number one, talk to the crew members. Crew members are always very, very helpful, and they're chatty as well. So in a world in which you're cruising solo, you don't have anybody to really converse with necessarily. Crew members are always good for that. Number two, don't avoid specialty dining because you're solo. Don't assume, oh, it's weird because I'm by myself. Literally nobody cares. So enjoy the specialty dining. And also take advantage of the fact you're solo. Do what you want when you want. It's a very liberating experience. You don't have to ask anybody, hey, do you want to do this too? Because, if you don't want to, that's okay. None of that. You do what you want when you want to do it. It is a very liberating experience. Do I really have to print all those documents aboard my cruise? You don't have to print it, no. The one thing I think you should print, and the answer is you don't have to, but the one thing I think you should print is your negative COVID test. I think it's just easier to do that rather than flip in the phone. I'd be perfectly honest with you, Andrew. When I go to my cruises, my set sail pass is always in the Royal Caribbean app, so nothing to print out there. Your passport is your passport, so you've got that in pocket, right? But the negative COVID test is the one thing that I will prefer a printout for. I think it's easier, but you could definitely show a digital copy if you prefer. So what are the top 3 things to do in Cozumel? An all-inclusive, or just a beach day in general, all-inclusive or otherwise. Tulum ruins, the Mayan ruins, or going downtown San Miguel and doing shopping. I think those are definitely the top 3. When do you believe they'll take out required COVID testing policy? I don't think it's going to happen this year. I don't know any more than you do. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, let's remember, these are the protocols that have been very effective in cruising being able to start safely and operate safely with very few, if any, cases on board the ship. It's kind of like saying, oh, my favorite team is in first place. Let's get rid of all the their best players because, look, it's been working. We don't need them anymore. I mean, that's one way to look at it. And I get it. COVID testing is a pain. I get it. It kind of puts your whole cruise in limbo, your whole vacation in limbo. What happens if you test positive? But this is the reality the cruise lines operate in. The cruise lines are still in a world in which the media is hyper-focused on COVID cases on board. If you don't believe me, go look at the Washington Post today. There's a new article about one COVID case. I think it was one, maybe 2, who knows, on a Princess cruise ship that sailed in San Francisco. And they're making a big deal about COVID cases on cruise ships. Like there aren't like a ton of COVID cases on land and, we're moving past society, but the media still makes a big deal about it. And it just rolls downhill very quickly from thereafter. So not the answer you're looking for, Ethan, but it's the reality we live in right there. How were the late night bites at the Mason Jar? Chef's kiss. Mwah. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I mean, great music, great drinks, and great food. I really liked it there. I mean, you think you're full, and then, it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you can sure go for some fried chicken. I've been there, done that, ate it, and can report back. It was really impressive. I loved the Mason Jar. On Oasis in 6 days, I was wondering how to access the Diamond Free Play I hear we have at the casino. Yeah, that's true. So on day 1 or 2 of the cruise, Richard, what you're going to do is you're going to go to any slot machine when they're operational. Obviously, when you're in port, that doesn't work. But once the casino's open, go to any slot machine, put your CPass card in, and you're going to click on account, and then you're going to go to rewards, and then transfer to game. So account, rewards, transfer to game, and you'll see over there whatever monetary value you get. Everybody qualifies for at least anywhere between like $2 and like, I don't know, $20 of free play at the casino. You have to gamble that whatever money you have, you have to gamble it away. You can't just immediately take it out, but it's free money. So, but it's pretty easy to do that. Good luck. And remember, when you hit the jackpot, Richard, just remember your favorite cruise blogger out there. Booked my first Royal Caribbean cruise this Christmas. To book Thrill Waterpark is $133.99. Should I wait for a sale? Way more than I thought. Yeah, I mean, that's expensive. That's really pricey. So there's a couple things. Number one, there's no guarantee the price will go down. So if you're saying, Matt, there is no way I'm paying $133, then yeah, just wait it out. I mean, what choice do you have, right? I mean, the compelling thing is you could book it now, lock in the price, and that way if the price goes up, you've got the lower price, but if the price goes down, you can cancel and rebook. That's always my go-to strategy. But because $133 is already out, like, expensive, I can't imagine you like if it goes up from, like, if you're not comfortable paying $133, it really doesn't matter you locking in the price. But Christmas time, when you're going over a holiday, you're going to pay a premium price. And in general, prices are going up for a lot of activities, like at Perfect Day at CocoCay, So, but listen, if you've never been there before and you've got your heart set on it, it's vacation. So that's my recommendation. But yeah, theoretically, there could be a sale and the price could go down. But because it's over Christmas, I'm not so sure about that. In Labadee, is there a way to buy an all-day pass for the extras, such as the water slide and alpine slide, and how much do those pass cost? Good question. They do offer all-day slide and the alpine slide, the coaster, and the water slide passes, but there's not like a combo deal. You got to buy each one individually, and you'd go on the cruise planner website. Off the top of my head, there, I don't know the price. In fact, the price can vary, Tanya, depending on the ship and sailing you're on. But basically, you go to the cruise planner website. If there is an all-day option, usually there's like a one ride option and an all-day option. And usually if you do it like more than like 2 times, the all-day option is cheaper. So with the close to amount of wonder, do you think we will see it on Alaska cruises in the future? I think anything's possible. It wasn't too long ago that people were like, wow, a Voyager class ship going to Alaska? That's crazy. That's huge. Now, not so much. Same for Quantum class ships. I think I will say this. I do believe it's an inevitability at some point. Yeah, well, I'll go along with that. I see exactly your logic there, and I think it makes sense. I booked cruises by myself and never had a problem. That's the thing. I mean, listen, it's not that you don't have a problem. You can do better. You could save time, you can save money, and you can make your life easier by using a travel agent. Listen, we're not here. This isn't about booking a cruise. Any person can book a cruise. I get that. It's not very hard to put out your credit card information. The actual booking is simple, but are there different discounts you're not aware of? Are there different options available? What happens when Royal cancels your cruise, or there's an FCC involved, or you want to change things, or better yet, who wants to waste time on the phone? That's what a travel agent's for. They're there to save you time, make your life easier. And then after the first booking, my goodness, it makes subsequent booking so much easier because they already know everything you want. It frees you up to do fun things like this and hang out with me here rather than booking it. Again, it's not about the process of like, hey, can you get through the checkout process? Obviously, anybody can do that. But what it's about is saving you time and maybe even saving you money along the way, and also sanity, because we're still in this day and age of COVID. Things cancel, FCCs. Managing on your own is just a nightmare, quite frankly, and I just wouldn't recommend it to anybody. One of my pins is a top tier event. I try to go to every single sailing because I appreciate that Royal Caribbean appreciates my business. The least I can do is go to these things if Royal Caribbean is putting them out there for top tier members, because I, as a Diamond Plus member, really do. I think it means a lot to me to see Royal Caribbean recognizing our contributions as loyal customers. So I definitely love going to the events. I don't care. I have a drink package. It's not about the free drinks, although there are free drinks there, which is nice. For me, it's just about showing my face to show, hey, this event means something to me, and I'm going to go to it. So is it worth paying for a beach bed or cabana at Perfect Day at CocoCay? I think so. I prefer the cabana. Beach beds to me don't really do a whole lot for me personally. I like cabanas because having a home base of operations, the service you get, the convenience of it. To me, it's worthwhile. They're not cheap, but I find value in them, especially with kids, having a place that has shade, a place somebody can lie down and take a nap, getting lunch brought to us, having drinks brought to us. So that way it's a little bit easier as a family. I value that, and I think it's worthwhile. And I've done cabanas many, many times at Perfect Day and absolutely love them. So in my opinion, yes, there's other people here who have never done a cabana and they have a great time without it. You don't need a cabana or a beach bed at CocoCay to have a great time, but it sure is nice to have them. So that's my opinion on it. Is the casita worth it on Oasis? I don't think so. Now, I just told you how much I love a cabana, but the casita, if you guys don't know, the casita is those little, I guess, huts you want to call them, on the pool deck on Oasis of the Seas, and it's got 2 lounge chairs in there, a USB charger. It might even have a fan up top. I don't think it's worthwhile. I mean, I think the scenario in which I think Royal Caribbean envisions offering these is like it's a sea day. You and your family have it for the whole day. You don't have to compete for chairs, and you get to use it the whole day. Okay. They cost about $200, I think, on sea days, maybe at the very least. I Number one, they're on the upper pool deck. I think most people spend more time on the lower pool deck. So I don't. That's like already like for me, I'd rather be on the lower pool deck than the upper pool deck. Number one. Number two, they have no walls. So depending on where the sun's position is, it may not be actually providing shade to you inside of the casita, which may or may not be a problem for you. But ultimately, I just don't know that I need chairs that badly. I mean, as you probably know, I know it's hard getting chairs with the chair hogs and all that. I kind of feel like I just get up in the morning. I'm not saying 6 a.m. I'm saying just get up there before 10. You're going to get a chair. And I think that's fine. How much should we tip our room attendant? Your gratuities that you pay cover your room attendant. So if you're satisfied with the service, if it's good, it's great. It's just, that's totally fine. I think you're perfectly fine with that. Some people will tip on top of that. So if you feel like they really went above and beyond, or they really went an extra mile for you, or you were just a pain and asked for a lot of things, you can tip them on top of that. And that can vary depending on what you think is appropriate. But remember, you're already tipping them with your automatic gratuities. So you should feel confident in what that includes. Going on, Stephanie, in late May, do you know how the chat feature in the app has worked for people? We want to use it with our large group. It worked perfectly fine. It's $1.99 per person per day. So everyone's got to get it in order to use it. The one issue people have reported off and on is like, if your phone is, in standby mode. So like my phone is, your phone's in standby, right? Just not on, but you don't get the messages. But I've had pretty good luck with it. When we go on Oasis next week ish, I'm going to, it is next week. I'm going to try it out. My wife and I are on board, so I don't mind. It's only a 3-night cruise. I don't mind dropping a couple bucks to test it out. So we'll give it a try. In the name of science, I'll message her while she's sitting right next to me and see if it works. Do you ever use Air to Sea? Yes. I used Air to Sea most recently, Nathan, when we went to California. And does your MEI agent manage repricing? They can, yeah. With Air to Sea, either you can do it or your travel agent can do it. It's up to you, but they can handle that. And I've used it twice so far. Once when we went to the Bahamas, I'm pretty sure, on Adventure of the Seas back in June, and then again for our Christmas cruise on Navigator of the Seas. I don't use it anymore now for domestic flights. I mean, I'm not really worried about my cruise being canceled. The reason why I use it, Nathan, was I was worried my flights were going to be canceled. I'm sorry, my cruise is going to be canceled. And then obviously, if that was the case, I don't want my flight to be canceled. Anyway, that's not a problem anymore. If I was going to Europe, though, I probably would use Air to Sea in that situation. Do you have to take your passport with you when you get off the ship in ports in Mexico? You don't have to. I do. I take them off every port I get off the ship, except for, of course, Labadee and CocoCay. That's not worth it. But the reason why I always take it off is if you get stuck somewhere, I'm not relying on somebody else to get me my stuff. I want to be able to have it. So in my opinion, I believe it is important to take your passport off the ship with you on tour. What if you lose it, Matt? What if I lose my kids? What if I lose my wallet? I mean, you can't live like that. And there are risks in life, but be responsible. I have not, knock on wood, I've not lost it yet. I've not lost my kids yet. I've not lost my wallet yet. It's not impossible to not lose your stuff. It's not like it happens every other time by any means. But for me, the peace of mind that if we got stuck there, someone got injured, delayed, whatever, you have a passport, you can go straight to the airport, fly home, no questions asked. If you don't, you got to go to the U.S. Embassy, get a visa. It's a real pain in the butt. And no, a photocopy or a photo on your phone of your passport is completely useless. So don't even bother with that. You're just wasting your time on that one. Considering a day pass to Margaritaville and Nassau, any thoughts on it, or British Colonial Hilton? Well, the Hilton is closing, or it has closed already. So there goes that choice. We actually have a review of it, KD, on RoyalCaribbeanblog.com. I'll post it in our chat. We did Marcy, one of our writers, went to Margaritaville not too long ago. There's a day pass there. So I think by default, your answer is Margaritaville, and the price has actually gone down since we posted the article. So that's even better. We'll be live again next week right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.